on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Jay Ajayi, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's get you over to Raymond James Stadium for the home opener. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led by their veteran quarterback. He's been in the league for a while, since 2005, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Time to peek at the defensive starters. Here they are for Philadelphia. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Michael Bannon coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive player of the week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And a quick look at the Buccaneer defensive starters.
And linebacker Levante David uses his speed and his smarts to overwhelm opposing offenses. Forced 5 fumbles in 2017. That's a carryover from what we saw him do at the University of Nebraska. He's a guy you got to count for on every snap.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Fitzpatrick. Flush to his right. It's caught. Jones. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Fitzpatrick on 1st down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Mike Bennett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Bennett, of course, a big offseason pickup for the Eagles.
And they love his versatility. He can play defensive end, defensive tackle in obvious pass situations, 9.5 sacks last season in Seattle, and the smallest shoulder pads for a man his size we've ever seen.
And a 3-time Pro Bowler to boot. Here's Fitzpatrick. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And break, the tight end's got it. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a play fake. Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And an early early sack there for Tampa Bay. Charles, that is a welcome sight.
A sight for sore eyes, you might say, right? Just 22 sacks on the season in 2017. And what they're hoping that some of their one-on-one guys can get home this year instead of having to scheme to try and get sacks.
And those 22 sacks last in the league a year ago. Throwing now is Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
To throw is Fitzpatrick. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Fitzpatrick. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. He was a second-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their line.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Spills. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss. Another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And he's just across midfield and down at the 4. 49-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Bucs on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
First down, Fitzpatrick. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Chris Long in there to drop him for a loss on the play. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. They are, however, facing a 4th down, and the first play will be a field goal try. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. To the football, it's blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans, and it's an early lead there for the Saints. Drew Brees with 1 touchdown pass thus far.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio that should ever be in any discussion.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're really moved to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. First catch for the Eagles' leading receiver from a year ago. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Wentz to throw. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down, Fitzpatrick drops it to Jones in the flat. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And now with a play clock almost to 0, Dirk Cutter's going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Howard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the 1st.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet. Get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A great return there. Bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. The give is to Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt. 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now Wentz, screen pass to Sproles, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Wentz now on first down. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Wentz to throw on second down. A dump off to Sproles. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On first and 10, here's Wentz. Goes underneath for Sproles. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Wentz to throw again. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They only need a yard here. Third down and 1 after the penalty. Again, it's Wentz. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Only a yard on the third down throw, and that leads to a fourth down. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Second down, looking to throw. Fitzpatrick. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line, Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. A final shot before half for Wentz. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, an NFC South matchup between Atlanta and Carolina. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. 2 touchdown passes there for Marcus Mariota. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cleveland Browns. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. For the call in the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, a combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at it, and he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 42. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Fitzpatrick now on second down. Throw left side complete. It's Howard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Fitzpatrick. Buying time to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up... fourth down. On is Chandler Catanzaro now for the Buccaneer field goal. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. Well, they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Wentz going to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The Eagles on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Working from the gun. Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. Flushed out right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They go play action. Fitzpatrick. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They run again with a jive. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Second down, Fitzpatrick. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That's taken on the 25. 51 yards on the punt there. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So the long attempt for... Falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. The Eagles on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick it up by running the action to the right. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block it. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They'll go again to Jones. They find some open field here. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
A give to Jones, and he went nowhere. Well, he went back backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
To throw is Fitzpatrick. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. To throw on third down. Fitzpatrick eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the second round, and he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end. Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Here's Wentz to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Noah Spence with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay there.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. This is Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And out and out come the Eagles. Well, where have we seen this before? This might be shades of Super Bowl 52, Charles. Eagles up by a score in the fourth quarter, needing to run some clock.
Yeah, and they don't need to take that much off here. And think about it this way. Different quarterback under center than the one you're thinking about.
We had Nick Foles under center, Super Bowl 52 here, Carson Wentz. But in Super Bowl 52, they took over 7 minutes off the clock.
They certainly did, and they really ground it down and stuck it in the end zone.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell him to take care of the ball and try and move forward.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick, throw left side complete. It's Howard. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Jay's going to go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And they have possession. And they have it at the 38-yard line. Here's a Jay. And now running right through it. Jay's gonna go. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. Fitzpatrick on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Fitzpatrick looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd down, Fitzpatrick again. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw on 3rd down. Fitzpatrick. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete.
4th down and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise, but how about the coverage there, able to bat it down?
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
This is a jive. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They go play action here on 1st down. Ertz has it left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they move the chains. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Philadelphia, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.